Hi.
So this is a grain of rice for scale. And this is a wireless LED. And today we're going to be embedding these wireless LEDs into resin dice.
Because how cool would it be to have a resin dice that doesn't have a charger, whoa, it doesn't have any batteries, and when you throw it, it lights up when it lands. Oh my gosh, I need to move this. I'm going to knock the camera off. I'm too excited.
How do these wireless LEDs work? What is this?
Science adjacent with Evan and Katelyn.
Yeah. So electricity runs through these copper coils, which creates a magnetic field around the copper coil. And when these LEDs are within that magnetic field, the coil on the LED picks up on that magnetic field and generates a current which powers the LED.
Yeah, so it's essentially wirelessly powered, much like many things you might have in your home. Wireless earbuds, electronic toothbrushes, phone chargers. Now, obviously, this coil is required in order to make the lights glow and our dice work, but it's not very pretty. So in addition to making the resin dice, we also have to make a specialty tray in which we embed the copper coil. Feeling intimidated?
Yeah, I'm feeling intimidating. I don't know which one's going to be the bigger project. We actually have over 100 of these tiny LEDs, but we don't want to waste any of them because we don't even know if they work in resin yet. So we're going to do a small scale test. We're going to put one of these in resin and see if it works.
And hopefully it does, because ultimately we want to stuff as many as we can into these days.
Yeah, I'm like, stuff
we
100
have
in.
100. So for this test, we could just drop the LED in. But an issue that we're going to come up against when we do the final one is that we want our dice to be balanced. So why not test how we're going to suspend things too?
Yeah, now I don't want to subject you guys to the entire journey that I went on. It was a long journey. My initial idea was to take a toothpick, create a mold from that toothpick, and then make a resin toothpick.
So that we could suspend the LEDs with resin.
Yeah.
Once more resin is around it, it would essentially disappear and it would be like sandable and polishable at the end.
So I did all of that. And then after I was done, I realized that we have these perfectly clear, really hard sticks that are from the fixture that I tried to make when we made clear wood. And since we keep everything, we already have these. I wasted hours.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's okay, it's okay. This is better than that anyways. I made these little stands right here. You put the mold right here. We'll attach the LED here and then lower it down. Look at that.
To the perfect height. And then I'll just hold it there while it cures.
Yeah.
I feel like it should work.
I feel like it should work.
In terms of suspending it.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, wait, no, I have a question.
Yes.
We're already testing 2 things.
Oh no.
Should we throw in a third test and add some colors to see, how sheer the resin needs to be or how opaque it can be for the light to come through?
I think we should. You know I love efficiency.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, yes.
My knees are hurting.
Yeah, I'm surprised you made it that long.
Resin time, resin time, resin time.
All right, so we're gonna use UV resin to hold it down. Cook it on the barbie.
So we're gonna try to color these with the tiniest amount of alcohol ink because it's translucent, but we still want to have some sparkle. Evan found this super fine liquid iridescent glitter.
And that's especially important because the finer the glitter, the less they sink.
Yeah, get as little as possible.
Neat. Oh yeah, is that even too little?
The reason we drop it on the popsicle sticks is because you can't do less than a drop otherwise, so it kind of lets some of it absorb.
Yeah, when we mix more epoxy later, when we're doing multiple dice, it's gonna be a lot easier to control per drop.
Yeah, okay, I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah. I hope.
Oh, that one might just be a 1 dipper. Oh, geez, it got dark.
And that's dark.
Now, how much do you think I should add of the?
4 drops. All the glitter.
1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 6. Yeah, that's nice.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Very nice. Very subtle glitter.
Yeah.
But again, that's what we want. We don't want it to block the light. We don't want it to sink.
It'll be a good first test.
Yeah.
All right.
Cotton candy.
That's delicious.
I know. Okay, that's about full.
Let's move these out of the way, bring the guillotine in.
The guillotine? Okay. Can you kind of see like the height of it from there?
I thought I would.
We need a light.
Can you see it?
Yeah, when it moves.
Oh yeah, you can see it. You can see it.
Yeah.
I don't want it centered. I want it where it would be if there were 20 of them. So push it down lower so it's on that like, kind of closer to the face. Yeah, like a little bit right there.
Okay.
I think that's good. Yeah, why don't you fill it up with like a little bit more resin?
Yeah, 1 squirt.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Let's put it in. Into the darkness with you. Hi guys. There you go.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that was a nice day.
I know. I shouldn't take this off yet.
I wanted my luxurious hair to be blowing in the wind. There you go.
Thanks.
All right. Look at how much the resin reservoir fell.
I know, it was full. I wonder
Yeah.
if we're even gonna have a void. Let's need some help birthing it.
Durability test! All right, so we're not gonna like fully clean this up. Let's just do like a quick snip right here. Now, the LED is right there.
I see
Yeah. Okay, we kind of pointed it at the generally right location.
Yeah.
Now the glitter, awesome.
Yeah, the glitter looks fabulous.
It looks so pretty. Look at that glitter. Wow.
Yeah,
Ooh,
this-
wow.
The super fine glitter is very nice.
It's on.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not centered.
Even on the top, because that's, farther from the coil. I was worried that it might be too tall,
Yeah, that is cool.
This is making me think that getting everything placed perfectly is gonna be difficult. I know that's maybe a bridge we'll cross later. We're still waiting on some supplies to come in, so I think we should move on to the next part of the project.
Yeah.
The tray.
So for the tray, we're thinking about something like this.
So we want to make the walls out of walnut, and I'm going to design a cool engraving we can do around it, but within that, we're going to have a compartment that can house the coil
Yeah.
and the coil bits. Like,
Yeah.
how are those actually?
I'm thinking we just kind of just bend it.
You're just bending it right now?
Hopefully it didn't break.
Well, do we have a light? Wait.
Oh no.
Okay.
We're good.
So it should fit in the compartment.
Yeah.
So we turn to our Glowforge for some laser cutting.
He's silly.
Caitlin
What a
doesn't
silly
realize her
baby.
mic's on. I can hear you.
Yeah, Juby snuck into the craft closet.
That's okay. But it's a little bit plain.
And also,
Oh,
what a terrible noise. So we're gonna cover it with some velvet.
Yeah, do a new one. Do a new throw.
Slightly better.
Slightly better.
Should we test to see if these actually,
After we touch the velvet.
you just want it to be dramatic.
Yeah. And instead of busting out our old faithful flocking compound, there's adhesive velvet.
Adhesive
And I think we shall try that today.
So you designed the space to be
Exact
width of the sheet.
Yeah,
so
so
we
we
have
have-
zero wiggle room, right?
Yeah. I don't need the B-roll right now. I'm just gonna move.
Don't make me laugh.
Imagining the dramatic music.
Oh God. I don't want to have to remake this box.
We'll
I
just
guess
peel
we
it
can
off.
peel it off. I don't know how sticky it is.
Just gonna capture this face of concentration.
I gotta pull an Evan and get low. This is what you do to like cut vegetables in the kitchen.
Go like this.
You gotta do the Evan stance.
Don't hurt my back. Hey, is that great?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right. What are you cutting it for?
Nothing.
Are you chaosing?
No.
I'm not gonna look because I know you're up to something, and I want to be surprised. You keep on stopping and then starting again.
I need to complete my project.
I thought I'm completing our project.
No, that's a side project now.
I think I'm done. You ready?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my god! Wow. You're beautiful. Beautiful. It gets your mustache right off. Which one did you do first?
The mustache.
Mustache?
And then
Good. Okay. You want to tell them about your design?
Yes.
So for the side panels, I of course wanted a jube face as the centerpiece. Then I drew a simple border and popped in some little stars. We thought it'd be nice to have two alternating panel designs, so for the next one I continued the star theme with a sun and some moons, and then I thought, hey, I can turn these moons into an E and a K. Kind of. So I did that, added some more stars and a matching border, and then they were ready for engraving.
Look at the little Julie!
Oh, Julie!
She is emerging!
Yes.
Wow, your vision came together. That is so cool!
I know!
Oh my gosh!
I know,
It works!
The way the stars continue, that's what
Yeah.
I was hoping. Oh, the walnut does look so nice.
Yes.
With the darker engraving.
Oh, it's already so glossy.
Her little whiskers.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. And she almost looks fuzzy too in the little scorched area.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to make it exactly what we wanted. Yes.
All right, let's glue them on. So there's one thing that I just realized we actually almost forgot to do.
I ran. You sounded urgent. I ran.
So there's something that I realized we almost forgot to do.
Okay. I'm assuming it has to do with the tray. Oh, test roll it? Oh, God. I thought we were going to have to, like, start over. You just want to do a test roll?
Yeah!
I ran from the office, and then you said, you need memory cards. I ran back, and I ran back here.
It's not that bad!
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a test before we just make all of the dice, and then what if something's wrong? Okay, ready? Starting with the magic box.
Uh-oh. Wait, is it on?
No.
Okay, it's lit.
Hey, yeah! Okay, wow. I was definitely worried that it wasn't gonna work. Wow.
It works.
Okay. Yay! Yay! Wow,
Cool.
look at that!
We can move on to the next step.
Let's make a whole bunch of these with a whole bunch of LEDs. What you doing?
Avoiding the next step because it's intimidating.
Come on, we got this. Sorry, Juby. Katelyn has to get up now.
Okay, is it allowed?
I allow.
Okay, it's allowed.
Thank you, very generous. So ideally for the final dice, we would have one LED per face, so that no matter how it rolls and lands, there'll be one LED shining upwards at least.
It sounds pretty simple if you're just doing a 6-sided die. Like, you can probably orient them the right way.
Yeah, just like kind of hot glue them together or whatever, I don't know.
Which, to be honest, was kind of my initial plan. But it gets pretty complicated with the complex angles of something like a 20-sided die.
Yeah, I want the moment of victory that I want at the end of this. I want to roll a 20, and I want that 20 to glow.
So we came up with an idea to orient the lights in the right way, make mini dice, glue a light to every face of the mini dice, and then embed that whole chunk into a normal size dice.
Yeah, that way it's gonna match the shape. It's gonna be perfect, if it fits.
If it fits, that is the struggle.
One thought that we had from a design perspective is we don't wanna just embed a piece of resin that's the same color as what we're gonna cast the final dice in. It'd be cool if it was different, special, cool. And one cool material that we have is this iridescent sheet. We've used it on this gem lamp, but I really like it when it's crumpled, because these look like cool gems or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna stuff these
into these tiny, tiny dice molds.
Yeah, and then you just shove it in.
Should we, I feel like we should maybe do a little bit of resin in the mold and then shove it in and then top it off with more resin, because otherwise we're gonna have air pockets down there.
You're smart.
Thank you.
Let's do that. This isn't UV resin, unfortunately. Wait, we should have just done UV resin.
Why didn't we just do UV resin?
Why didn't we just do UV resin?
That's fine.
It was an ordinary day when suddenly disaster struck.
Oh no! The cable! It's aggressive!
I'm falling! Events like this happen every day to those with wired headphones. Protect yourself and your loved ones by getting a pair of wireless earbuds from our sponsor, Raycon.
Raycon earbuds feel, look, and sound better than ever. Their optimized gel tips give you the perfect fit, and they will not budge.
Plus, they have a 32-hour battery life and 8 hours of playtime, which is great if you want to escape with an audiobook, podcast, or music because the world's on fire.
Raycon start at half the price of other premium audio brands, but sound just as good, so no wonder they have over 49,000 five-star reviews.
If you want to support our channel and get 15% off your Raycon purchase, click the link in our description or go to buyraycon.com/Evan and Katelyn. That's buy, RAYCON.com/Evan and Katelyn.
Sound check. All right, let's see how these tiny little resin cubes turned out.
They look pretty janky.
They're very, very deformed.
They're extremely deformed. There's lots of voids, probably because we shoved so much iridescent film in there.
Oh my gosh, there's like look at that, there's a massive void in here.
Massive void.
These are useless.
I mean, I guess we don't have to have the cool stuff in there.
No.
The film.
Let's try again. Ready?
Yeah.
They're very yellow. I was going for just slight inner glow.
You know, they are what they are, and they are what we have now. So I'm down to just move forward with the yellow ones. You did try chopping up a few little pieces of the iridescent film.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it.
But I'm not even sure if they're going to be seen in here and underneath all of the LEDs, because the LEDs are going to kind of block that anyways. The main purpose.
So why did we even go through all of this?
I just just in case they show. But now that I'm thinking about it, they may not show at all.
Okay.
My main concern now But if we like, let's say that we surround this to get an idea of
Hold on.
how big it's gonna be. It's too big. It's too.
Oh no.
It's too big.
Oh, no.
It's too big.
So,
I have an idea.
what's your
What
idea?
if we drill pockets into every face?
That seems extremely tedious and difficult. What if we just glue them together in a little bundle?
That's the easier way, but I still have my dream of one per face. I think I at least want to try it once.
Okay.
Oh no! Yeah, it's like
honestly
already
think-
falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought that the drilling would work, so I don't really know what to tell you. It was a good effort.
So, what if instead we went with 6 LEDs for every single dice?
You mean we went with my idea of just gluing them in a little
You know,
cluster?
after a lot of experimentation, and let's do that.
So my very high-tech plan involves hot glue. Just squirting some in the middle, and then when it dries, I'll add one more on top and one more on bottom.
You know, hot glue is impressive.
Why am I so shaky? Oh no. No, 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 no. That didn't work at all. It like immediately deformed them.
Wait, I'll be back. I think I might have gotten it. It's a little bit extreme. Okay. Now, ideally, would have some wood dowels, squares like this, and would cut them to size and would just glue them all on, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that, but we do have steel. I mean, they look like they're about the right size, right?
How extra is it to cut steel for this?
They're so cute.
We have some very tiny, unnecessarily steel
It's
steel
for the
cubes.
weight. It's for the weight.
I don't know. It is what it is. So I'm gonna dip this little light in super glue.
It's super glue gel, so it's a little bit more forgiving in terms of usability. I like it a little bit more. There you go.
It is working. Now, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain because I have to wait for each one to dry.
No, super glue dries pretty fast.
How fast? Okay. Then we keep going. You know, this might work okay. That's not centered.
You don't have much working time with super glue.
Centered enough. Centered enough. My little creation.
It looks like an underwater mine.
I was just thinking it looks like an underwater mine.
Right?
That's straight out of a video game.
Okay, now let's see how the size compares. Alrighty.
I think, yeah. I mean, that's got a decent amount of wiggle room.
Yeah, that'll fit. You know, at the
Maybe?
right orientation.
We could always just like leave out one LED or something if we need to.
I
Or
think we can make this work. Let's mass produce our little LED mines.
should we try making one before we mass produce them?
You are such a smart lady. let's test one before we
make
start
one.
mass producing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so curious.
Hopefully there aren't massive voids.
I know.
Oh my gosh, you can totally see the LEDs.
Well, that's not a bad thing. Wow,
And it's off
you can
center.
really see that, and it's off center.
You can really see
boy.
them. What happened to the blue? It's really off center.
It's just pink. It's really off center. There's no voids. I mean, the lights look cool.
The lights look cool.
In some ways, I don't mind seeing the LEDs in there. It's kind
Yeah.
of like industrial looking. And like, I don't really feel confident moving forward when we still don't really know how to center it. We're not sure of the right level of color opacity.
Yeah, plus I still,
I said I always say opacity wrong.
Opacity?
It's opacity.
I love you anyways.
I know, but it's like the word opaque is with a Q.
Opacity.
A soft C, but they both have an A there.
Anyways, what I don't feel sure about is how there are all these different points of light shining outwards that don't match the faces. But I think we just need to do a whole bunch of tests.
I'm scared of your next experiment. What do you want to do with LEDs?
Experiment 1. Improved centering jig. Our first design wasn't the best for making accurate right angles, but you know what is? A box. We also decided to make these new centering jigs clear, because that's important when you need to see through to center your bundle of LEDs. Experiment 2. Inverted LEDs. We laser cut acrylic to make tiny, clear cubes, and this time we glued the LEDs facing inwards so that it created a single, bright ball of light. Or as Evan likes to call it, the capacitor.
That looks really cool.
It does look really cool.
That looks really cool.
We also made a second one to cover with unicorn flakies just to see if it looked cool. Because, you know, why not add more experiments to this already huge project? And to test the inverted LEDs, we're just gonna go with the same low opacity resin like the previous test, just for the sake of not changing too many variables at once.
This is the sparkly one.
Okay. Ooh, I do see the sparkles. Ooh.
Oh, yes. That is really cool.
That is really cool. How do you feel about the glowing core versus the multiple points?
I like it more.
I think I do too.
All right, let's see the other one though.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I like the sparkly already.
I know, the sparkly is like really cool.
Whoa. Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What?
This one has so many cuts in it.
Did you add cuts when there were actually already cuts? Sorry, this happened off screen. Evan was like, oh, this one doesn't have cuts in it. I'll cut it. Whips out knife.
Hey, still turns out okay. Great centering. Also cool.
The one without sparklies is a bit brighter. The one with sparklies has some more interesting color variation.
I personally like all of the LEDs shining inwards instead of outwards because it appeals to my engineeringness.
I'm fine with that. I like both. But I do like the one with the iridescent flakies around that inner core most.
Yeah, I like that too. Let's do that.
Now, onto some color experiments.
Experiment 3. Color opacity. 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 We decided to do 3 more color tests. One that's a slightly more opaque blue and pink alcohol ink. One that same blue and pink but with some black alcohol ink mixed in. And one, again, that same blue and pink but with some white iridescent mica mixed in. And if we have to do any more color experiments... Actually, I'm just kidding. I like the color experiments.
Okay, first let's look at the one that's the more opaque pink and blue alcohol ink.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Comparing it,
that's nice.
Way better.
I'm glad that you can still see the iridescent flakies some in there.
Yeah, this is, I'm already way happier with this. And it looks great.
You can still see the tech inside, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's gonna be easier to read the letters.
Yep. All right.
Okay, next.
Big improvement.
Now let's look at the one that we added white iridescent mica to.
Ooh.
You know, that's also cool.
But I think I like the blues.
I don't think I like it as much.
Yeah, me neither. Alrighty.
Now the one that we added black alcohol ink to.
I'm excited about this one.
I'm especially excited to see how this one looks lit up. Ooh.
Ooh.
Very dark and moody.
Yeah.
I like that though.
Ready?
That's pretty cool.
Which one?
Ah!
I mean, they're in the same family.
They look very similar.
They're in the same family. Like you could even have some of these and some of these mixed within one set, probably.
Let's check out our final dice, which doesn't even have lights in it. We just had extra of all these colors: pink alcohol ink, blue alcohol ink, white iridescent mica, and black alcohol ink.
That is cool looking.
It is cool.
I mean, we're moving in the right direction. I would be happy with any of them, honestly.
I really wish that this one did have lights in it so that it was an accurate test.
This one is the coolest. This one's the coolest. Everything is the coolest.
I think I can eliminate the ones with the mica because while it looks cool, I feel like it clouds the lights a little bit too much.
Yeah, and I like the darker look of the black, but it does kind of muddy things a bit. So
Simple, pink and blue.
Let's go into mass production mode. I'm so ready to see them all together.
I'm so ready. Do they look okay?
So far, so good.
Okay, let's get them out and see.
Alrighty! Now all we have to do is just hours and hours of sanding, clipping, and finishing.
Yay! Yay, I can't wait. How you feeling? It's been a long 6 weeks or so.
I feel so relieved to be here at this moment, about to test our final dice in the final dice tray.
This has been such an adventure. There's so much that we couldn't even show you guys. Like we made so many test dice.
So much testing.
So much we couldn't talk about. We'll have to cover it in the after show later.
We'll tell all the stories there.
But for now, it's time for the final test.
Are you ready? Oh!
Oh my gosh.
They're so celestial. They're so like magical looking. The moment of victory that I want at the end of this, I want to roll a 20 and I want that 20 to glow. They boggle my mind because I know how they work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like they should work.
No, it feels kind of like magic.
It feels
when
kind
you
of like
lower them
magic,
in
which is
and
the
raise
coolest.
them up.
It's the coolest thing to do, you know? They look like little words are hard.
So does this make you want to play D&D now that we have like a super cool set of dice?
This might be this is the tipping point. Having dice so cool that you can't not play with them.
Oh my god.
Ease the peas, baby.
While you're doing that, oh, this is recording. Hello. How long has this been recording?
Hello. So the rice.
Oh my god, the rice is gone.
Katelyn.
Okay, that was you. Yes. Yes, how you doing? Yes.